Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Las Vegas Luxury Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Kevin Jaramillo.
And I'm George O'Brien.
Well, George, here we are back another week. You know, today, instead of a property tour, let's talk to the folks about what the heck is going on in real estate in our market, right? Not nationally, because you hear on the news, no, they're going to talk national stuff. But I think the people that are watching us, what's going on here?
Yeah, they want to know, and they should know. You know, it's nice to look at homes and, oh, I'd love to live there. I want to buy that house. This is nice to look at. But you got to know the market to make the right decision.
In case whether you're buying or selling, guys, because if you're selling, let's price your house correctly.
Right.
If you're buying, hey,
let's get you a good deal.
Let's not always believe what the list price that's what the value of that home is. Right, people always want more than their house is worth.
Of course,
that's just human nature. So I'm not worried about that. But let's get into. I found an article done by Housey, which is look. If you Google anything in real estate, Housey's going to come up in the top 3 to 5.
Okay.
Right. So they got a good presence online, and people are reading their articles. So this one here is recent, and it's titled "Nevada Real Estate Market: What to Expect in 2025." Because everybody wants to usually know what.
They want to know what's happening next year. They want to know what's going to go on in the future.
What's coming up. And so we've got a new administration coming in. What's going to happen? Crystal ball, nobody knows for sure, right? Speculation, we won't go down that road, but they want to know, should I buy a house next year? Should I not buy a house next year? So let's see what these guys have to say, right? So let's go through this article. It says here, the current medium home sale prices, we're talking about Nevada. Now, before I keep going here, these folks are talking, you and I have already seen this article, the numbers. These numbers are based on Nevada, meaning southern and northern Nevada, Reno and Vegas, right? That's where the bulk of the sales are in the state. So even though they don't say state, we've done the numbers, we've computed that's what they're talking about. So the current medium home sale price is $461,700, is growing 5.8% year over year, right? Moreover, homes are sitting on the market for 38 days. This indicates that the real estate market is in the silver state, is now slightly less competitive. I don't know if I'll agree with that statement. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't think so either.
I mean, 38 days is not a long time to sell a home.
Not at all.
I think what happens is the people that wrote this article, since 2019, listen, homes are flying off, multiple offers, they're not on the market a long time. But historically, 60 to 90 days is what it takes to sell a home. That's why when we see people, hey, I want to sell my house. Okay, well, this is not an overnight process. You're not buying groceries, right? And let's get your house ready. The whole process takes time. So for them to say that because it's taken 38 days, that we're slightly less competitive, I don't agree.
Yeah, so we don't want people who currently have their home listed in Las Vegas right now and they're on their 45th day to get nervous.
No, don't get nervous. Right. And again, depending on the agent you hired, right, you and I have a great pulse on the market, right? I'm going to share with my clients, if we price the house correctly, it will sell in less than 30 days. My job is to get eyes and butts in your house, and someone's going to buy it.
Absolutely.
Right? When they sit longer, it's because 2 reasons. Price, right? It's usually overpriced. That's why they're sitting. Or 2, your agent is not doing their job and getting eyes and butts on your house. People can't buy it if they can't see it.
Right.
It's that simple, right? So I'm not going to agree with that particular line.
What about the current median price? I think that's for the state.
That's for the state. We're a tad higher than that here in Vegas, about $475.
Yeah.
It's not a lot higher, but a little bit, okay? Additionally, only 3,733 homes sold in June of 24, down from 4,052 in the previous year. Sellers are receiving fewer offers. Such inactivity in the market is mainly due to the recent NAR settlement. People are anxious about selling prices and agents' compensation. Boy, we got to really dissect this because, listen, first of all, these numbers are the statewide. We concentrate here in Southern Nevada. We've already done the numbers. Sales are up year over year in Southern Nevada.
Yes, they are.
Okay, they're not down, they're up.
In June, it was 23 and some odd.
Yeah, they were over, right? Now, when it says here, such inactivity in the market is mainly due to the recent NAR settlement. No. If the NAR settlement was explained correctly to your client, they will understand that has nothing to do with it. NAR settlement mainly is about the compensation, how we get paid, but it doesn't affect home pricing.
Right.
And it should never affect whether your home sells or not sells or the amount of time. It has nothing to do with that.
Well, obviously right now, they're on this article, they've done their homework up to June, right? So the NAR settlement didn't really come into effect where we had to use it till August.
Right.
So how was that affected?
Yeah, I'm thinking they didn't quite understand how it works, right? Now it says here, the NAR settlement has removed the buyer's agent compensation and many MLSs have followed the suit. It will probably reduce the home selling prices as a result. Buyers will have improved affordability along with low mortgage rates. No, not at all. It has nothing to do the sale price, how we get paid, right? Let's just break it down really quick for you guys that are out there. That the NAR settlement required the MLSs not to show what compensation is.
Right.
That is always been taken from the seller. The seller pays the compensation to the buyer's agent. They're not allowed to see that anymore.
Right.
Mainly because there's, unfortunately, agents out there that were like, oh, they're only offering 2%. I'm not going to show that house. That is illegal. You can't do that.
Right.
And so they took that so certain agents couldn't do that. We can't prove who did it, who didn't do it, whatever. So they just took it out. Right. That has nothing to do with the consumer. Nothing. They don't know that. Right. When we have a buyer, there's no fee to the buyer from us. We work for you for free.
Right.
We get paid from the seller. Now, it's always in the seller's best interest to pay the compensation to the buyer. Why?
If they want to sell their house.
If they want to sell, because we bring them to you. Right. Our value is, hey, we found your house.
Right.
And I have a client. Right. Mm-hmm. Now, what maybe they fail to understand is what NAR said is this. We have to now be in contract, disclose what our fee is to the buyer, and tell them my fee is X, typically 3%.
Right.
If in fact the seller does not want to pay it, and they have the right not to pay it, then you need to pay it. Right. That is, and then the buyer says, well, I can't afford it. Well, I don't work for free. Right. So it's my job. Don't worry about it. It's my job to negotiate the offer, the deal that they will pay me. And guess what? I'm an awesome negotiator, and I'm going to get them to pay me.
If you're skilled at negotiating, you're going to be able to negotiate. You're going to negotiate
from the seller. Right. If in fact you come across, and we haven't heard of one happen yet, I haven't, that the seller absolutely says, I'm not paying the buyer's agent. The buyers have to pay their own representation.
Right.
Now the option is this. You either pay me, which it could be anywhere 5, 10, 15, 20, 50
or
grand, whatever, or we go find another house.
We find another house. Now, I haven't
found that. If we go find another house, who just lost?
That seller.
The seller lost. His house didn't get bought. Right. So this is why it's in the best interest of the seller to pay the compensation.
So if you were the listing agent and your seller says, hey, with this new NAR settlement, I don't want to pay the commission, what are you going to tell them?
Do you want to sell your house?
Exactly.
Do you want people to remember? I told you my job is to get eyes and butts in your house. Mm-hmm. That's my job, right? That's marketing, right? And I do all different types of marketing to get eyeballs and butts in your house. If you choose not to compensate the buyer's agent, then they won't come.
Right.
I can't force them to buy your house.
Exactly.
So do you want them to come? Well, yeah, I want people to come.
Do you want to sell your house?
It's like fishing. Yeah. You don't throw a line in the water with no bait. A fish ain't going to just jump on your hook.
Right.
You got to have bait on the hook.
Exactly.
Well, guess what? The bait is the buyer's agent. That's who it is. Right. That's what you have to do out there. So I don't agree with them. I don't think it says here, as a result, buyers have improved affordability. Has nothing to do with that. Affordability. Right. Again, in the case of, those are the options that the buyers and sellers have at this point. They're staying status quo, how it's been for the last 50 years.
So far. It seems that way, yes.
Again, now, I don't know every sale that happens every day, and there might be, a handful out there that happen that, but we hear that.
We hear things.
And we haven't heard one yet.
Right.
Okay? Because again, we're advising our sellers, yes. Now, if I'm charging 3% to my buyer and the seller says, look, the maximum I'm going to do is 1.5%, I might just do the deal anyway, depending on circumstances, or I might tell you, you need to pick up the other half.
Or there's other things you can do.
I mean, this is all a negotiation. Every deal is different. Right. There is no cookie cutter, deal here.
Every deal is its own deal.
Every deal is different. So, and along with low mortgage rates, I only want to talk about mortgage rates for 22 seconds, okay? Which is, that's a crystal ball. We don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Today is December 2020.
Right.
I think December 20. Anyway, the Fed just yesterday made a decision to drop it a quarter points, but then that wasn't what freaked the market out, because the Dow dropped 1,100 points. What freaked the market out is what he said after he lowered the rate by 0.25 basis
What did he say?
points. He said he doesn't see himself lowering rates, but maybe 2 times in 25,
Right.
where 3 months ago he said we'll probably have 4 or 5, rate cuts in 25. That's why the market freaked out. It's what he said, not what he did.
But you see what he said 4 or 5 months ago, what he said the other day.
Right.
Things
And that's
change.
why they did that. But today, the market's up 780 points. It's bouncing back.
Right.
Okay?
Well, you want to look at inflation too.
We want to look at it. And again, there's a lot going to happen in the next 6 months with the new administration coming in, promises they keep. Will they keep their promises? Can they keep their promises? I don't know. We'll find out. And we're all just going to roll along with what's going to happen. So it says here are some tips to sustain in the market. If you're a home buyer, the current inventory is of 14,000 homes.
Now that's an indication right there. They're talking about the whole state, because in
Yes.
in Clark County today, I looked at the numbers. There's 7,500 homes.
Right. So this is the
market.
whole state, right?
Yeah, so that's a state.
Right. And so it says here, and expected to drop home prices can benefit you. The low interest rates of 6.59 to 660 are now in buyers' favor. Now, the rates they hit 7.
Right.
Right. And I think they're going to just bounce up and down 7 by a quarter point either way. If we see it go 6.5 next year, okay. And as your lender will tell you, when we put you in touch with the lenders, it's crazy though. Whenever you close, this is like a spinning wheel, and where it lands on that day you're closing, that's the rate you're getting.
Right.
Now you can buy and lock yourself in.
Right.
That costs money. But if you can't, for whatever reason, do that, you get the rate that happened that day. Right. So again, I just want people to understand when they read these articles, they're not getting the 100% truth.
Right. Because the people that write the articles, they're great at what they do, I guess, but they don't work in the industry. They don't have their finger on the pulse the way we do.
Right, right. It says here, if you're a home seller, the correction in the home prices is long overdue. In the wake of NAR settlement, home prices may drop a little more. If you're a seller, you can still make profits on home sale before prices potentially drop. Oh, I don't know what homework they did here, okay? Or they didn't pay attention.
Right.
We've talked about this. Guys, home prices are not going to drop overall. Now, home prices are going to drop. Certain zip codes are going to drop. Certain neighborhoods are going to drop. But don't think in your mind, I'm waiting because this article just told me that the home prices are dropping.
Please do not.
And we're going to go all the way back to the basic, simple economics, supply and demand.
Right.
So be careful what you read, what you hear, what you listen, what you want to understand. What is the inventory? We live in Las Vegas, a city of almost 3 million people. We have barely 3 months of inventory. A seller's market is officially not a buyer's market until it's 6 months or more. We're far from being there because of the supply.
And we're never going to get there. We're not going to get there for a long time.
Now, what's happened is since 2019, prices have risen, your equity, by 50%, 51, 52 to be exact.
That's huge.
It's massive. It's never happened. We're going to go back to the normal. Historically, right, over the last 75 years, homes have had appreciation between 3.5% and 4.5% a year.
Right.
So there's a different article that I was just reading that showed that's what's happening in 25, 26, 27. They did a 3-year forecast, and they all are going to be right down. We're going to go back to normalness. Right. And normalness is going to feel like a lot of people like we're crashing.
Right.
We're not crashing.
But those numbers or that article talked about the whole nation, right?
Right.
So in Las Vegas, it's a little bit different.
It is different.
We haven't been going up 3 to 4% a year over the last decade.
No.
Not even close.
Yeah, we've been definitely going more. But we're a double-edged sword because when the hammer dropped back in 2008, we were one of the top cities that got hit the hardest within real estate valuation, right?
Right.
Will that happen again?
Probably not.
I doubt it. I just don't see a market, the real estate residential market crashing. The commercial, whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
That when people kind of hear tidbits of, oh, the market's crashing, and they hear that term and they don't dig far enough either in the conversation or what they're reading that they're really talking about the commercial side of real estate. That is 100% going to be like 08. That thing's going to splatter. It's going to just hit the floor hard.
Market. That's different.
So, but we don't talk about that. That's not on our wheelhouse. We don't do commercial. We have commercial other agents that we partner up with. If you're in the business or in the arena that you need a commercial, we can still help you because we have partners that we work with. But our wheelhouse is definitely luxury real estate, number one, but just real estate in general here in the Vegas Valley. So not a correct statement here, but people are reading this stuff, George.
Right. So, I like it when clients do their homework and they read these articles and then they come talk to us.
Yeah. And they're like,
kind of set this record straight for them.
Right.
And that gives us value.
Well, let's go
that shows value.
Let's show them directly the real numbers that you, me, and every other licensed agent has access to, which is the MLS.
Right.
Multiple listing services here in Las Vegas. And I'll come over here. Let me go back to this page. We have access here, guys, and we're giving you a sneak peek at it, okay? That we know at any given time, market stats by showing time, this is the MLS over here. Closed sales. This is the entire MLS, okay?
And again, that's for Southern Nevada,
Southern Nevada only. And you can see this chart here. And I'm going to go along it. Right here, November is the latest stats. November of 24, the entire MLS sold 2,343 homes. Okay? Now, this is single family condos and townhomes.
Right.
Okay? Everybody. 2343, November of 24. Let's see what happened November of 23. There we go. 2,110.
So
we sold about 220 more homes.
Yeah, it's been that way
this year than in 23. We're up. And we can do this for any given month. The highest month in 23 was May with 3,291 homes sold in May. In 2024, in May, 3,351.
Yeah, so we're not tremendously up over last year, but we're up.
But we're up in sales. And that's going to continue. The reason that you see this up and down chart is because that's seasonally.
Right.
The low end down here, right? The lowest
holidays.
November, December, January. Most people are not buying or selling homes in these months because it's the holidays.
Right.
They're just it's family time. They don't want to move during the holidays because moving is difficult, stressful, a lot of factors, right? But then what happens? Boom, January. It jumped up tremendously. So we were in December 2203, January 2146, and then February 26. 500 extra homes in the month of January to February were sold. It jumped again by April. It just kept going up. But the same thing happened last year. January 1869, February 2347, March 3176. It was a vertical climb. Right, because it's seasonal. The spring is coming. People want to buy.
Our highs were just higher this year.
They're just higher this year. And what can we expect in 25? It's a crystal ball, guys. We can only go by indicators.
Right.
The indicators are we are going to match and or beat the numbers again. Guess what? We're not beating them by big margins.
No, we're
staying fairly steady. People are making money. The thing that we like to advise guys is do not buy a home if you're financing based on an interest rate.
No.
We don't care about interest rates. You shouldn't care about interest rates because they always will move. If you buy at an interest rate and their interest drops a year, 2, 3, 5 years later, just refinanced. Okay, that's what happened to the folks who bought homes in between 2012 and 2018, who were all paying 7%, and then in 19 they went down to 3. What did they all do?
They all refinanced. Right.
Right. So they just knocked off 15% of their payment.
So basically, Kevin, if you're going to say, well, I'm going to wait for the interest rates to drop. Okay, so let's say they drop and now you go into the market and you buy a home. Well, that home went up in price.
Yeah, let's say
you lost all that equity.
We have clients like that. I have a client 2 years ago. I'm going to wait until the market crashes and buy a home that's going to be less money.
Well, not necessarily crashes, but they're waiting
or dips.
Or they're waiting for the mortgage interest rates to go down.
Which doesn't happen.
Now you're paying more for that house. So it negates the whole difference.
So the clients who were telling me this in 2016 and 17, because they were reading articles like the one we just saw that, hey, things are going to go down, they're going to crash, you should probably wait. And guess what? What happened? If you were in 2016 or 17 and told yourself you're going to wait, how much did that just cost you?
A lot.
I had clients that were purchasing in the $600,000-$700,000 range back then. That $600,000-$700,000 home back in 2018 today is worth $1.2 million.
It's in our market.
It's doubled in 6 years.
Right.
So the cost of waiting cost them how much?
A lot.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
You should have been in that home. You would have made money.
Right.
Get into your home. The sooner the better, because appreciation is not going down, guys.
So I tell people, if you can afford it at today's interest rate,
Yes.
do it.
Buy the house you can afford, right? Period. You need a home, buy a home.
Right.
Just buy the one you can afford. That's all. Now, granted, your buying power shrunk because the rates are up. Hey, maybe, oh, you know what? In 2019, my buying power was I could buy a $700,000 home. And now in 24, 25, my buying power is $500,000. Okay, it's shrunk down. You can't buy as big a home or a nice a home. That's just what the reality is. But you should get in a home, because if you wait 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, you're going to cost yourself another $100,000.
You don't want to price yourself out of the market, and you don't want to lose that wealth that you could accumulate.
Get
the
in.
equity.
The key is when you hire someone like George and I, and you say, well, I want to live here. I want to live in this area. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm like, George, if you're my client, George, I know you like that area. You like that school or that shopping center, or it's a little closer to work. But if I have you move just 2 miles further, whichever direction,
right?
Because I know that neighborhood's appreciating statistically more and more over time, and where you want to buy is going the other direction, I'm going to let you know. Like, this is not a good financial move. I know the house is awesome. It's beautiful. It's the price you want right now. But financially, it's not the best move for you.
Right.
And buying a home is a financial decision.
Yeah, we're not just salesmen.
No, we're going to help you all the way around. And that works even if I'm trying to find you that $5 million or $10 million property.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because, well, we looked at that. Let's look at that real quick. Guys, when George and I are doing our homework, I pulled up over here a map. This is the map of the Vegas Valley. And we have in here under the criteria, homes that are for sale between 4 and 5 million.
Right.
So if I had a client that came to me and says, hey, my budget's between 4 to 5 million. That's a big spread, but at that point, that's kind of that's out there. That's what's average.
Right.
And they tell me I want to live in Summerlin, right, the west end of town. What does this map tell us, George?
It's slim pickings.
There's 4 homes available. If you want to live technically in Summerlin, because we know Summerlin appreciates very much.
Right.
Great. I want you to live in Summerlin. Well, guess what, Mr. Client? Your budget's 4 to 5 million. I have only 4 homes to show you.
Right.
They're like, that's it? Like, that's it. Right? Now, if you tell me you want to live out in Henderson and McDonald Highlands, Ascaya, these places we've been showing.
More options.
Oh, we got like 30 down there.
Right.
But maybe Mr. Client says, I don't want to live on that end of the valley. I want to live on the west end of the valley. Well, these are your options. Now, there's homes sprinkled out throughout the valley that are in that price range. They're not master plan communities. They're smaller communities.
Like right there where it says Spring Valley.
That's Spanish Trails.
Exactly.
Okay, which is a great neighborhood, a great community within itself.
Right.
But it's not in a master plan like Summerlin. Okay. So no, they're great, and I'm sure these are all completely remodeled. Great golf course community.
Right.
There's very few golf course communities for the people to have options for when you're
20 years ago. That was the end all.
This was all
30 years ago.
It was built in the early 80s. So my point is that that price point goes there, and as the price points move upwards, right, and we show these 10, 15, 20 million dollar plus homes, they are all out in the Henderson area. Most of them. Right. There's slim pickings up here on the west, but there's a reason for that, George.
Well, people are closer to the strip over there.
They're closer to the strip.
They have great views.
More inventory over there, but people in this that come move here want that Summerlin address. Yeah. And so the homes that are up there that are above the $5 million price point, they don't last long.
Right.
I share with people the infrastructure. Once you come, if you've never been to Vegas and I'm your agent, I'm going to drive you there. I'm going to drive you out to Henderson. I'm going to show you where these beautiful homes are in McDonald Highlands.
Right.
And you're going to tell me, man, the traffic's tight and pretty rough over here. I'm like, Eastern Boulevard is no joke.
It is no joke.
You do not want to go up Eastern Boulevard.
Right. And
Stephanie Boulevard to get up there the back way, that's no joke either anymore. Versus on the west end of town with the 215 being up there, that traffic just flows so smoothly.
Yeah, you can get anywhere quickly.
You get anywhere quick. And so infrastructure can have a lot to do with where it is that you want to buy. You know what I mean? But I'm going to show it to you. You're going to make your own decisions.
Makes a difference in Summerlin, and it's a master plan community. I mean, everything is strategically placed. Schools, parks, shopping.
If you travel a lot, let's just say you work and, hey, listen, I fly 6-8 times a month. Okay, cool. You probably want to live in Henderson.
Right.
you're about 10 minutes closer than if you live in Summerlin.
Right.
But if you can sacrifice 10 minutes because you travel that much, you're like, hey, it's only 10 minutes. It's still not like in LA. Those guys got an hour and a half drive to go to the airport. Right?
Shoot, hour and a half to go to 7-Eleven.
They could live, they could live 5 miles from the airport and still take over an hour to get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over here, you could live in Summerlin and you're at the airport in about 18 minutes.
Well, you know where I live, right off of just east of Wallace.
Oh, you're at the airport in 10, 12 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's not
Piece of
far.
cake.
It's not far. But again, just options on what's going on out there. But mainly today, guys, I wanted to talk about the actual pulse of the market, what's going on. Be careful what you read, what you listen to. If
Talk to an expert.
You're here in Southern Nevada, you want to buy or sell a home, contact George and I. We have an amazing pulse on the market. We're always looking at the numbers. We're always driving the city. What's going on? How can we best help our clients, right? We can't depend on what the articles are saying. We have access to the MLS because we're professionals. We do our homework. So listen, I hope you enjoyed this video. What do you think, George? We gave him some good value today?
I think we gave some great value.
Well, listen, we'll see you guys on the next video.
Thanks for watching.
Take care.
Hey, thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it.
Guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and also that thumbs up button if you really like this video, if it helped you out and you want to watch more, hit that notification bell. We'll appreciate that very much. Also, look, if you're looking to buy or sell in the luxury market here in Las Vegas, you got to reach out to George and I. We're the experts here. So our information is below to be able to contact us. All right?
And we'll see you on the next video.
Take care.